Hello. I didn't realize I was on the Thanks for Coming stream. Anyway, what's up? How's it going? Welcome back to Xenogears. Start the game. Alright. Here we go, Disc 2. What horrors await us?
Dreaming. I was dreaming. Perhaps it may have been but a long-forgotten memory, a dream, a memory. A memory, a dream. Is any of this real or not? Things remembered when one is asleep, things forgotten when one is awake. But the deepest layers of memories become the outmost layers of one's dreams.
Main menu for Disc 2 being a dark evil version of Disc 1's. I feel like Disc 1 is already just a dark and evil version.
Which are reality? Which are illusions? One cannot tell it until one awakes, or perhaps they are, at the same time, both truth and fiction. Vast nebulous, with no boundaries, an emptiness equivalent to my own existence. I dreamt such a dream. A long, never-ending dream.
That's cool, Faye. Khan. Khan, what is wrong? I don't know who's speaking.
In that dream, I was called Lacan. I was an artist, a con artist, if you will. I had become recognized as a talented artist, and now I was painting the portrait of the Nissan Mother Sophia. No, it's nothing.
Let us finish for the day. You look rather tired. You alright?
I'm fine, thank you, but now that you mention it, shall we stop for the day? You must be the one who's tired, Mother Sophia.
Enough of that, now. When it is just the two of us, would you stop calling me that? Just call me Ellie, as you used to do in the old days. And you don't have to be so stiff and formal.
Oh, alright. Very well. No, I mean, yes, let's do that, Ellie.
Hey Faye, what are you doing? Faye puts down his notebook.
Nothing. Ellie, it was a time when she went by such a name. A time when we had met up with one another. A time when nothing mattered between us. It was better that way, just two people together. It was better to have left it that way.
Oh, is it? Oh, thank you. There you go. Just kidding, you don't get to see the game. Get out of here. It's the Aito show. It's all about me. I'm making this all up. This isn't actually happening in the game. I made all that up. I'm just a master at improv.
I think I might go back home, only for a week or so.
Oh, really? What is the matter?
I ran out of paint, so I need to go make some more.
Going all the way just to do that?
If I don't go there, I won't be able to get their right pigments.
World's #1 Xenogears fan author. Hell yeah. I wonder how many Xenogears fanfics there are on AO3. And 160. How many of them are lewd? Explicitly lewd. 21. The top one is or the first one. Oh, I think this is by recentness. Yeah. The most recent one is called Champion, and it is a Rico slash Faye fanfic. There's one that is like one of those, like, I wrote a bunch of chapters, and each chapter is a different fandom. And which one is this one? Hold on. Faye and Bart. Stay for work. Lame. There's a Myong and Ellie. One. Billy and Bart. Faye and Rico slash Id and Rico. Sigurd and Saitan. There. Sigurd, Faye and Saitan. Saitan and Faye. Saitan and Faye. Sigurd and Karat and Ramses. Id and Saitan. Sigurd and Saitan. Yang and Ellie. Sigurd and Ramses. Ramses and Dominia. Ramses and Dominia. Saitan and Yui. Okay, fair enough. That is his wife. And Rico slash original male character. There you go, if you were curious. Probably a lot more Xeno-related ones than that.
Oh. And how about I have one of my followers, the Kahal? Thank you in one of our gears. Every time I refer to my followers, I clarify that they are named the Kahal, just in case anyone that might be listening in doesn't know. You'll arrive quicker and you'll be much more safe. I lied. I wasn't out of paint. I just feared I would finish the portrait. I wanted to keep on painting forever. So I wanted to buy time. She'd probably despise me for that. No, she'd probably just give me her usual smile. She was that kind of woman. Dreams, the life of a man named Lacan, and the lives of countless other men, all but dreams. Now that I'm awake, those countless numbers of long, heart-rending dreams are almost impossible to remember at all. In those dreams, I loved one woman, no matter the day, no matter the era. That did not change, nor did her name.
They're only this is just the exact same as In and Noah from Xenoblade 3 is only getting stronger as the game goes on. I wonder if they purposefully were like, hey, remember that plot line we did in Xenogears? Let's do that, because no one's gonna remember.
I remembered. The dream changed me. That dream was the catalyst for me to resolve what my purpose was. I think I know now what I have to do. That long, long memory of a dream. Perhaps it was the memory of my soul. A dream. I was dreaming a dream, or perhaps it was a memory from a distant past. A dream, a memory. Those words I was unable to convey, that day, that time, those thoughts I was unable to carry out. Words and thoughts, the connection between the two. Without words, thoughts cannot be conveyed. Without thoughts, there are no words. They are both as vital as each other. They can never be divided, like the wings of angels.
Isn't your whole, like, religion's iconography based around the fact that that you have to have two angels to have two wings, and therefore the wings are in fact divided?
Like a man and a woman.
It's true, every piece of media was made in hopes that I would consume it.
Unchangeable destiny, feelings one wishes one could change. Meeting with the person who would change me. Watching myself change, I dreamt such a dream. A long, never-ending dream.
I knew I'd find you snoozing here, Faye. Lacan, what is wrong? Lacan. In that dream I was called Sophia, Mother Sophia. A symbolic name crowned upon the person who would be the people's hope. A name I was destined to have whether I wanted it or not. No, it's nothing. Let us finish for today. You look rather tired. Are you alright? I'm fine, thank you, but now that you mention it... Shall we stop for the day? You must be the one who's tired, Mother Sophia. Have I ever mentioned how the group that they get in Xenoblade to do the voice acting is the same company that does the Dark Souls voice acting? Thought that was neat. And I'm also going to... I know I've said this before, but I'm going to re-throw in the fact that Dark Souls and Mario Tennis, either Mario Tennis or Mario Golf in 64, have the same composer. I think it's Mario Golf, but it could be Mario Tennis. They have the same... One of those two has the same composer as Dark Souls. I know the original Dark Souls. I don't know if they worked on the other Dark Souls or not. I just know they worked on the original Dark Souls. They were one of the composers. Enough of that now. When it's just the two of us, would you stop calling me that? I'm gonna skip this. We literally... I know that they're going for a thing. Yeah, it really is. I know they're going for a thing here. I don't care. I don't want to watch the same cutscene twice in a row. Thank you. I think they made it shorter, but I don't know. Maybe it was just because I wasn't reading it. How Waluigi was invented for Mario Tennis and Toadette for Double Dash. Yeah. First time I saw Toadette was actually in one of the Mario parties because she's like a major part of one of the like side thingies. Or maybe she was a playable character. I don't remember which it was. I just remember that was the first time I saw her. Lame. I've always liked that name because when I first met him, that is what he called me. That is my true name. 80% of the Doki Doki Panic originals became Mario regulars. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, because of what happened with Mario 2, I'm assuming that Doki Doki Panic didn't get any sequels. I could be wrong. I don't know of any, but it's not all... I don't dig super deep into NES games as much as I would like in 64 PS1 era. I don't know of any, and if there were any, they were probably also Japanese only. But I have a feeling that Mario kind of took that after the Western release of Mario 2. Never mind, we're back to the cutscene. We just had to interrupt it. If this had happened, like, even just like an hour ago, which would have been last stream, I would probably read it again. But we watched it twice in a row. Faye getting his vitamin D straight from the source. Hell yeah. Faye standing on top of a hill, like a sunny hill, bench pressing a cow and sucking the milk out of its udders. I wonder when it started, that he started refusing me. The walls between us, our positions, our circumstances. I refused to recognize these. No. Maybe it was me. Therefore, I didn't want them. Can't make our own vitamin C. Really? That's interesting. That's like a rare thing for us. Wonder why. Therefore, I didn't want them. I wanted the two of us to be ourselves. That is what I wished for, so I had him paint me the way I really am. Isn't that like kind of heretical? To paint you as like a normal person and not as like a saint? I guess you could lie and say that like it's just any other portrait, but you know, technically I feel like most churches would not appreciate that. Dreams. The life of a woman named Sophia, and the lives of countless other women, all but dreams. Now that I'm awake, those countless numbers of long, heart-rending dreams are almost impossible to remember at all. In those dreams, I loved one man,
No matter the day, no matter the era, that did not change. Only his name. That dream changed me. That dream was the cat. I love how in Faye's thing, it was like here. The backdrop was like, here's a portrait that I specifically drew of the woman I'm in love with, and then hers is like, here's the picture of Faye that we just kind of throw up on screen when we need to throw up a picture of Faye, because nobody ever drew Faye, I guess. It's not even like in the same art style that the drawing of Ellie was in. That dream changed me. The dream was the catalyst for me to resolve what my purpose was. I think I know now what I have to do. That long, long memory of a dream that perhaps was the memory of my soul. I think Faye ever had like glimpses, that version of Faye ever had glimpses of his past life and like drew self-portraits based on them.
He's finally awake.
That man's naked.
There you go.
Like, I've played a lot of old RPGs where people are just straight up naked.
You've been sleeping in this nanoreactor for 3 weeks.
Nanoreactor, who are you?
I guess it was a lot easier to get away with. Then there was a period where like it was where when we went to 3D it wasn't as common, but then people realized like, oh, we can just, so long as their nipples and genitals are covered, we can put them in anything we want. And then we started doing the whole like battle bikini armor stuff. At least crayon drawing, because she has a drawing skill of 6-year-old for maximum, whatever the term of something not being expected. Yeah. I mean, she probably wouldn't. She was raised as a saint in one life and as a soldier in the other. I don't think she ever would have like stopped to do art.
Me? I forgot my name. Some people call me Tara. You seem to have recovered completely. Those were terrible wounds, but maybe your youth and strength helped. But your friend's wounds are more serious and may take a while longer.
My friend, Ellie. Ellie.
They made her in a ball because I guess a woman being naked is worse than a man being naked. That's sexist. But also, probably the exact stance that the ESRB would have taken.
Hey, quit staring at the naked girl and come over here.
She moved.
Ellie?
It's actually the second time we've seen Ellie naked, which is a thing. Hey.
Doc!
I heard from Tara and hurried right over here. Boy, was that lucky. You were fortunate to have come down near Tara's research facility.
This is no research facility. It is a man's hideaway. A man cave, if you will. Get that woman out of here as soon as she's recovered. I don't want her spreading her cooties over my man cave. Saitan told me about you. I was shocked to see a couple lying down with blood all over them. I thought it was a ritualistic sacrifice.
Couple?
At any rate, you had a narrow you literally just had like a dream of your past life where you guys were like probably not fucking because she was a saint, but like the closest a saint could get to fucking. Honestly, pretty scandalous, all things considered. Hey, make sure you thank Tara.
Tara, thank you very much for helping Ellie. Both Ellie and I were hurt so badly. What is that machine?
It's called a nanoreactor. It is a device that can rebuild substances at the molecular level. Not only can it just heal humans, but theoretically it should also be able to create many substances.
Is that the same thing as that guy in Solaris? I mean, is it the same thing as Krellian is studying?
Yes, that's right. I was the one who taught nanotechnology to him.
You did.
We shouldn't waste time talking about such an unimportant subject. Looks like our treatment is done.
Oh, you don't need...
I like combine their voices.
Oh, you don't need to come. Just wait there.
He's looking at my girlfriend naked and I'm not.
Hey. I also want to see her naked.
Hey,
Ahem. Now, why don't you two go get some fresh air outside? It ought to ease the shock of the change.
I knew it was you.
Hey?
When you came in the room just then, I was afraid you may have forgotten about me and everything else.
What do you mean?
I mean, because, Ellie, you seemed a little different than before.
Has my face changed?
No, that's not it. It's more like... I mean, your atmosphere or impression is different. Just a little. But it felt something familiar. Felt the same way when I met you for the first time. It's a peculiar feeling like we've met before somewhere.
Hey.
Yes?
I don't remember much what happened after we were shot down.
It's better that way.
But I heard someone calling my name. I felt I was covered with something very warm. I remember that clearly. Thank you, Faye.
Really?
Now kiss. Faye.
Hey, it's almost time for you to come back. There's something important we need to talk to you about.
Alright, we're coming. Well, Ellie, should we go see what's up?
Sure. Cock blocking son of a bitch. Wait, where do we go? Oh. Alright, let's save. Oh, kind of... Yeah, actually, now that you've said that. Which is funny, because we're starting that very soon. I thought you were just upset that they got cock-blocked. Yeah.
How do you feel now? The fresh forest air should have refreshed you somewhat, huh? Anyway, it's about the removal of the seal. I found out it can be released by using the nanotechnology that regenerated you two. Nano assemblers are enclosed in this pod.
Yeah, I don't remember. The names of there's a lot of fucking Kingdom Hearts songs who have, like, names that I could never, like, remember. They're so weird. Especially, like, the fighting songs. The combat songs. They always have, like, these, like, really complicated things where they make, like, music puns and stuff that I can't remember. If only we could scatter them all over the world.
There's an ancient military installation nearby. We might be able to use the mass driver located in there to launch this pod into the upper atmosphere.
That's fair. I don't remember any of the names. That's partly because when I put on mute OSTs, though, I just play it and then I don't look at it. I just kind of like minimize the window or something.
Once the nano assemblers are released up there, the convection currents should spread them over the world. I wish I could go do it, but I'm getting much too old for that type of thing. And again, it's for your future. An old man should not butt in. You young ones must do it for yourselves. Here. And of course, I'm not asking you to do it for free. Try this wristband on.
What is that?
This is an emotion control device in which nanotechnology is applied. When this machine shaped as a wristband, nanomachines are infused through your epidermis into your brain. There, they refine the SSRI intracerebral substances such as serotonin that control emotions. Well, I suppose it's rather difficult for you to understand, but in short it means that the manifestation of your second personality, id, can be suppressed.
Convenient. We didn't even have to go through a character arc to suppress it.
Id.
Hey.
Well, it's all theoretical though. Oh, and I did one more thing as well. I installed the same control device in your gear.
You mean it can release id at will?
Yes, I called it System id. And of course, it should not be overused. Use it only as a last resort.
Neat.
Hey, Doc,
Is there a button? Is there a mechanism in it that goes, it's been out for 5 minutes. Fucking pump the serotonin. Get him back in there. Put him back in the box. Excuse me. Water went down the wrong pipe. Because otherwise, letting it out at all could be very bad. But if there's a mechanism like that, then cool. We just need to get everyone like X amount of miles away, and then let it just fuck shit up on the bad guys' turf. Because like, clearly, if we could just like let Ed out for like 3 minutes, he would just like destroy everyone in our way, and then Faye would come back 3 minutes later, and then we would just continue on. It's a risky move, but it would. I mean, he destroyed Solaris in one go in like literally a minute. So the thing that took us the entire game to do, he just did it. So I'm just saying. The Godzilla problem. That is actually very accurate. Godzilla is the threat until another monster shows up, and then Godzilla is the hero because he kills the other monster. But you have to worry about Godzilla still being a threat down the line. Although I feel like depending on the movie, some of them seem to treat Godzilla exclusively like a hero, and some of them treat him like exclusively like an anti-hero. Oh, I haven't seen any of the new ones. The newest one I've seen is the shitty American one that came out in like 2000, 2001, and I didn't like it. I like old Godzilla more. It's more fun. I haven't seen a lot of them. You know, but I think they're more fun, just like inherently and conceptually. Partially because I like that they don't take themselves too seriously. First one I guess is pretty serious, but you know what I mean. Faye, there was nothing you could do. It will never happen again with Tara's technology, though. He is one of the 3 Shivat sages.
Whether you believe it or not, it's up to you. Oh, it sounds like we have a guest.
It's id. Somehow got out. Hey, we've got problems. Interesting. Today, a peace settlement between Abe and Kislev is being held at Shivat, but Solaris' mobile weapons are approaching Shivat as we speak. Please help us.
That has nothing to do with this young man.
Tora.
You're getting on my nerves for being so selfish. Saitan told me about you. You showed up after finding out that id is now controllable. Aren't you ashamed? You haven't changed since then. You only care about yourselves. Faye, you don't need to listen to these guys who once tried to kill you.
Godzilla vs. Kong was great for the 25 minutes of monster stuff. Fair. I'm guessing the rest of it was not that great. But I definitely don't like that some of the Godzilla movies will spend more than half the movie focusing on people. Like, you know I'm here. I'm here for the fucking monsters. That's fair. Would you say that if it would be better to just skip to the monster stuff, or is it not all in one place? Is it like scattered throughout the movie? Good actors, but man, did they get the short end stick? Yeah, that's not surprising. Please go. I'll go to the mass driver. Yeah. No matter what happened before, Shivat needs your help now. Although you may be saving some selfish people, there's still the world and its countries with many more innocent people. Please don't forget that. Ah, I see. That's fair. Bart and his people are fighting to protect those same lives, aren't they? So, please go help them.
Are you sure? What about you?
Don't worry about me. I'll manage somehow.
But all by yourself?
I will accompany Ellie. You do not need to worry. I brought along my own Omni Gear. You have an Omni Gear now? I guess Saitan just got an Omni Gear off screen. It is a new take on the whole Godzilla angle from the norm. Interesting. A good take or a bad take? They have the pieces, they just need to not eat half of them. Ah, I see. I see. Billy, the circle piece goes in the circle hole, not in your mouth. Yes, my Omni-Gear, Fenrir. Cloud? It is the same one I brought from Solaris. I left it with Gaspar in case of emergencies.
All right, please take care of her for me. Ellie, be careful. I will.
We are truly grateful for your kindness, Faye.
Suit yourselves.
Ignis, right?
Yes. The goal of the enemy is to destroy the cities in Ignis. They've already destroyed half of Bledavik and will probably reach Nissan in about 4 hours. Shabbat will try to drive them back with all the power it has.
4 hours, that's cutting it close.
No need to worry. Balthasar and I fixed your gear with the nanomachines. It's much more powerful than it ever was before. Why, you should get there in half the time.
What? Is old man Bal here?
Emeralda is here as well. Everyone's coming together for the final fight. Because if they didn't, then people would look at the parts of the game that they were in and go, that was a waste of my time. Or at least I would. Hey, it's the old guy from way back.
This is incredible. We meet again. It was for the spirit of the Slayer of God. I didn't think I would ever work on it again. But why are you both helping me?
There are some things you just can't explain with the word fate. You're just going to have to see it with your own eyes. Hey, going?
Yeah, I'd better hurry. Hey, where are you going?
Hey, please hurry.
Alright.
Here we go. Off to the final battle. Off to the final 2 hours, which will be 10 hours of lore and boss battles. And maybe another dungeon. Godzilla Trilogy is good. Watch and sit shit out with friends series. Nice. Those are fun in their own way. Huh. Are you sure you want to go through with this? You wanted to live quietly away from the battlefield, did you not?
I noticed myself running away from reality. At first, I thought my situation was similar to his.
The only series that I really am invested enough in to have anything like that would be like stuff like Zelda and Homestuck and Undertale, Deltarune, Metal Gear. About it. And in the case of Zelda, I'm in the minority. I'm not liking the new ones.
I thought Faye would understand my feelings. I didn't know if my love for him was real. I might have been desperate after losing my mother and father.
Ellie.
Despite all that, I may still love him. That's why I want to see what Faye can do and what I can do. I want us to be apart and think about ourselves again. I want to see how I really feel.
Have a good lurk, Moose.
I want to see...
Oh wait, I just said that. Unless she said it twice. You have changed it a lot, Ellie. It sure is a feeling. What happened to you in these past 3 weeks?
Really? I don't think I've changed.
Yes, you have. I should say you've matured. Like a mother.
Excuse me? I'm only 18 years old. I'm nowhere near the age of being your mother.
Sorry, you gave me that impression, that's all.
Anyway, Saitan,
I'm going now. Alright. I will follow you as soon as I finish off here.
I go too.
What?
I go.
Emeralda, I can't take anyone else along with me for something like this. I'll be fine on my own.
Ellie go, I go too. Emeralda have to go with you.
Emeralda?
No, Emeralda go too.
Why not let her go? I'm sure Solaris has a hunch about the limiter. They may interfere, so you may feel uneasy going it alone. I think Emeralda is cut out for this job. Besides, she's going to want to go no matter what. Take care of her until I can join you, please. Okay, you win. Let's help each other out, alright?
I can do it alone. You just watch.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
I thought so. So, you were the one who brought Faye and his girl to me. I realized it the moment I saw the two of them. Why? How could I help but notice? They looked the spitting image of you and her. Yes, just as you yourselves looked way back then.
Uh-oh.
Right, Lacan?
Huh. I knew that was going to be another version of Faye, but I didn't expect it to be the version of Faye that was known as Lacan. Wait. Or maybe... I don't know. Yes, no? I think that might be the original Lacan that Faye is cloned from. Yeah. So I think what it was that like Groff was originally a man named Lacan who was a scientist who made Emeralda and worked on those things, and he cloned himself, and that is what Faye is. That's why they refer to him as like, I don't remember exactly what they said. They basically said he was like Groff 2.0. Except id, I would argue, is way stronger than Groff, but that was probably part of the idea when they did the cloning. Also, the original Lacan definitely watched his version of Ellie die by getting shot, so that might have fucked him up a little bit. Which is, to be fair, exactly what happened with N, where he saw so many versions of his friends die that he just said, fuck it, I'm evil now. And also Shadow, you're right. Maria.
What do you mean he's still alive?
Yes.
Ridiculous. Didn't Ramses shoot him down?
She was also on the gear that Ramses shot down. I won't have her die.
But there is already a mother, although she may be the anti-type, as long as the current mother exists.
As far as I see it, this is not complete.
Quite picky, aren't you? Didn't you say you threw away all human emotions?
I don't care what you think, anyway. As far as he's concerned, I'll put Ramses onto him. Any objections? Where is he presently?
Etranek is destroyed, but part of the memory cube is still active. We should still be able to locate individuals. Wait a moment. He's left the crash site and is heading toward Ignis.
I see, so he's left the area. That means it's only a matter of time before the seal is broken.
Did you say something?
It's nothing. Just sit there and wait for the good news. Let me check.
What about retrieving the girl? The key is already beginning to resonate.
Nice.
The time of resurrection is near.
We can get the girl anytime. It doesn't have to be now. Let's take our time. On my way to Ignis, I re-encountered him. Oh wait, that's Faye talking. On my way to Ignis, I re-encountered him. Karan Ramses. Ramses once again stood in my way in his Omnigear, Vendetta. It was an unavoidable battle. I released the new function that was added to my Mark II gear, System id. Oh, he's just gonna... Yeah, okay. I thought this was gonna be like thing that we did once later, but no, he's just gonna go sicko mode on this guy. Alright, cool. Yeah. I'm going to Morb. My god. We just did like almost 5k damage. He did 0. Oh no, he did some. Okay. Not a lot. I wonder how much health he has. We're about to find out. Trick's supposed to hit for like 7k. Oh, the thing where you make her like super OP by putting a bunch of ether stuff on her. Yeah, I never did that, but it apparently was really good. Yeah. It's like 15k, and we win. That's not surprising.
Ramses' absolute confidence was shattered, leaving only his cry of disbelief and resentment. Ramses' machine disappeared into a sea of foliage. Why he was so fixated on me, I know not why, but he did say this. Only you didn't exist.
Oh, you little baby.
In order to disperse the nanomachines, Emeralda and I headed for one of the ruins of the Zavoim civilization, the mass driver facility.
Disc 2 really feels rushed. I'm just gonna say that now. The fact that we're getting big chunks told to us through narration. I'm not sure if it was actually rushed or if this was intentional, but it feels rushed. Like they ran out of time and had to just go.
Fortunately, the facility was still active, which allowed us to proceed on to the central control room with little difficulty.
Like, that's a dungeon they could have made me do, and they didn't.
Along the way, we saw various missiles and giant rockets.
I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying.
They were created during the Zavoim era. They stood like tombstones of that ancient civilization. It was a graveyard for a race of people who destroyed each other over pride and arrogance. Once arriving at the central control room, we met up with Saitan, who helped us activate the mass driver. We succeeded in launching the capsule containing the nanomachines, which would release the seal limiter.
Release the crabs. Crab cannon. Fire.
It shoots a bunch of coconut crabs that land on you, and you die from the impact, and then they eat your body. Aurora Borealis here in my kitchen at this time of day, at this time of night. I don't remember how it goes. You would know. The crabs are silly. To be honest, I don't remember what get destroying this limiter does. I don't know if it allows everyone to go sicko mode or what, but they steal anything that they can reach. It's not nailed down, which is why they're also called robber crabs. That's hilarious.
Nanomachines that were scattered into the upper atmosphere began to multiply and spread throughout the whole of the world. Nanomachines glittered in the sunlight, flowing like a large river in the sky. The glitter would remove the bonds restraining everyone. It was to be our light of hope for regaining back our true freedom. Solaris' mobile surface supremacy weapon invaded the area with great force. Javat and Nissan's standard gear battalions were no match against it. It was only a matter of time before the Solaris mobile weapon... Oh, this is Faye. Oops. I just kind of like assumed it was still Ellie. It was only a matter of time before this Solaris mobile weapon arrived in Nissan. After we pushed back the Solarian gear units, we headed for Norchun, to the Kislev capital's administrative district. Went there to obtain our one and only means of standing up against the mobile weapon. Save current data? Faye said to himself. Hey, what are you doing over there? Nothing. Means we're probably gonna have to actually play the game now. Continue the game. Or we're gonna have a big boss rush, one of the two. It is quicker, and it would kind of suck because if we did all this, then this 2 would probably be about as long as this one. So I'm not gonna complain about the length. It does like feel weird that it suddenly just started doing this here. And I feel like if they were gonna do this here, I kind of wish they'd done that for some of the earlier stuff. Just because certain areas felt like they could have just been kind of like, and then we did the thing. But I guess you could say that about anything. Technically, any game could just be made into a visual novel. You just cut out all the gameplay. Kislev Capital's Norchun Central Administrative District itself was a secret battleship constructed by Bart's ancestor Roni Fatima after the Great War with Solaris many hundreds of years ago. The existence of the secret battleship remained hidden. Later, the ship was turned into a section of the Kislev Imperial capital during the founding of the Empire. I was wondering why the center was just a big ship, but I guess that is what happened. Covering this truth for some ancient records, Bart activated the secret battleship in order to fight against the Solarian mobile surface supremacy weapon. The sand cruiser Yggdrasil was actually the center of command and also the main secret weapon of the craft. Awakening from 500 years of dormancy, its true form appeared before us. Commanded by its new master, the secret battleship stood before the mobile weapon with all of us inside of it. And then they do that thing from the new Star Wars movies where they go so fast that they like blow a hole through the other ships. I just used one of my like 10 pieces of Star Wars knowledge. Oh my god, it's a giant gear thing. We just summoned the Mechazord. He's got a schlong cannon. Oh my god. Why are there have been at least 2 robots that I can think of off the top of my head that have penises. Superdimensional gear Yggdrasil 4. Who said that? Oh. I forget that Bart doesn't sound anything like the voice I gave him.
Alright, transformation complete. Come on, monster, let's go.
What the fuck? That biblically accurate mecha. Fort Hurricane. I guess it is spinning. Punch! Punch! Nice, that did 2k. Featuring Hurricane. This thing Bart's current gear has almost the max HP. Actually, it has. I'm pretty sure whenever I do the max HP sheet, I think it has more than what it would normally have. I'm gonna boost her because we have a lot of fuel, and I'm gonna assume we're gonna be fine. I probably don't need to, honestly, though. But I'm sure it'll work out in the end. I don't think we can use death blows, though. I'm gonna turn it off just to be safe. We have like basically infinite health, but are not as much so on the fuel side things. And I know from past battles that the fuel goes fast. I like the little ding it makes when it hits. It's just like ding, bing, bing. It's like somebody lightly tapping against a pot. Oh, I didn't do shit. That was like your ultimate beam attack and it did 300 damage. Kinda wish, I feel like this fight should have just been like another like you hit it 4 times and it dies thing. Because it's really just like not doing anything. Its attacks would do nothing but make this fight go on longer. Maybe if I use the Yggdrasil cannon, it'll just die. Let me try it. Oh, that uses up a lot of... Is that a bad idea? Or is that what I'm supposed to do? That's 9,000 out of... That's almost all of what I have left. I'm just gonna do it. Fuck it. It gave it to me. It's the game's fault if that's a bad move for even letting me do it in the first place. 9999. Dead. That is true. Jellyfish do be kind of wacky. Right, leveled up. Was he 61 before, or did he get like an upgrade because we got to disc 2?
Stellaris' mobile weapon was destroyed, which brought a sigh of relief to the continent of Ignis. Peace was signed, and after some 500 years of division...
I'm starting to feel like maybe the game is over, and maybe disc 2 is just we're epiloguing every loose end. Because like we're really just kind of like, and then we beat the thing and things were good there.
Peace was signed after some 500 years of division. The land of Ignis once again became united. Excitement spread throughout Ave, Nisan, Kislev, Shivat. Sky shimmered as if to celebrate. By the hands of Ellie, Saitan, Tara, and Emeralda, the nanomachines had been dispersed into the atmosphere. That was when disaster struck. Our songs for victory were replaced by the sounds of total pandemonium. In the beginning, we had no idea what had transpired. We witnessed inexplicable phenomena. People from all parts of the globe began to mutate into abnormal forms. It seemed to be triggered when the nanomachines removed the limiter seal that was placed on humankind by Krellian in the past. The human form with its innate abilities released.
I mean, I guess this is a bad thing that happened.
That's when I remembered what happened, what Hammer said back in Solaris. His words were, "What becomes of the normal humans?"
So they are naturally germinating because the resurrection of God is near. Those who will become the body of our servant. I never knew so many would exist, even without using the key. But some of them still have not yet begun to germinate. I love German 985. The Dollhouse stream was my favorite. Are they not destined to be the flesh of God? Or perhaps those are the enemies of God? Let us reactivate the strategic points of the Soylent. At any rate, they are just incomplete mutants. They are useless now in their half-finished form. God's apostles. There cannot be any harm in having too many of them.
Tap. It's Myong, I assume.
Chains that restrain humankind have been removed because of you.
That doesn't mean there is anything wrong with our plan. Everything is still under control.
In the event of the explosion in the capital of Solaris earlier, I'd set up nanomachine virus to diffuse into the atmosphere. I knew they were eventually going to break the seal, but the timing was a little close for comfort. Current mutations of the humans are an initial response to the virus. Once the virus spread over the world germinates inside of the humans, and they are no longer the same. They change into a controllable form. They shall peep the horror. We need humans that do not depend on the key's invocation in order to awaken. In other words, a being to take the place of the original body of God.
Like a Trojan horse released at the same time, at the time of the assimilation with God. A literal virus, but isn't it different from what they intended?
Of course. We can't let them have it their way. The Ark of God is mine.
Either way is fine by me. I'll just side with whichever is the more certain one anyway.
Like one of those Napon people. Yeah. I hope so. I hope Chupon saves the day. The Soylent System. A group of facilities formerly created by Solaris. I don't know who's talking this, I'm just going to use my normal voice. These facilities existed all over the Earth. It is said that originally, these were used for biological experiments and brainwashing. Chupon ascends. One can only hope. They kind of look like what I imagine if somebody tried to remake the Chows. That one in the back specifically, it's kind of hidden now. But it kind of looks like what I imagine, like if somebody tried to reimagine the Chows as like eldritch horrors. I feel like it would look something like that. The people who mutated into what we were called Vels, or the true form of humans, gathered at these facilities. Some of the humans turned Vels were attacking healthy humans and devouring their flesh and blood. Like vampires. That is because healthy human flesh and blood ease the pain of their sudden molecular changes and let them live longer. Their lives were so short, so they're just zombies. That one in the back looks like salad fingers. Soon after, severely mutated beings started to seek the flesh and blood of the less mutated beings. The Soylent System divides and merges those mutated bodies on a molecular level. A set of facilities that recreate a more perfect single life form to be used as a weapon. This kind of looks like I feel like that thing we just saw, that like laboratory type area we just saw before this, is what if somebody made like a custom Mario Kart map, I feel like there would be one that looked exactly like that. This was the truth behind the Gazelle Ministries implant. Now this is one of those everything's fucked details that just gets glossed over. It kind of is. We're really just kind of speeding through the end, and everyone's fucked, and you're all gonna die, and the bad guys are winning. Except after the 10 hours of lore, we're gonna have like a final boss fight against God, and then we're gonna save the day at the end. I do wonder how like open the ending is gonna be, considering this there was supposed to be like more after this in the timeline. Even though it's the 5th part in the timeline, and it's the first game we got of the potential 6-part series, so like there was gonna be a lot more. So it was making its way to be a Star Wars text crawl. It really is. Go to those facilities and you will be freed from the unbearable agony. So people gathered, seeking a fulfillment of this promise. There is salvation there. The news spread, although no one actually uttered it. The mutated blood probably told such people to gather there. I guess that's God. Kind of not very cool. I'm gonna be honest. I've seen much cooler gods. We went there to destroy the Soylent system. O2 from Kirby 64 is actually one of my favorite, like, angelic beings. If we're not counting Eldritch God, then we're just counting like more traditional angelic gods. But Chaos Ephelis, yes. Oh, that's true. I guess when they went like the final mode, they did get more angelic. I didn't think about that. I would put Ephelis and Void Termina above O2. But when I think of like biblically accurate angels, O2 is like one of the first bosses in video games that comes to mind. There, humans fought amongst themselves greedily for limited pardons to live. I like how we're just like hanging out. Like, I guess nobody cares that we're here. No guards are like, hey, it's those guys that are kicking our asses. It was an ugly battle to keep on living, or so it may have seemed to the casual passerby. But to me, they were desperately trying to live. It was each person's natural human form. There were the haves and the have-nots. And among them were some of my former friends from Solaris. They wanted our flesh and blood. I think this is Saitan, but I'm not confident enough to switch voices. They told us the haves should share with the have-nots. They asked if a have, such as myself, could understand their pain. I couldn't answer. It might be Ellie, to be fair. No matter what I said, it's either Ellie or Saitan. It's not fair. It would have sounded like a conceited have speaking. Even so, I wanted to relive their anguish, and I decided to do so. Just like the person in the memory of my dreams. Okay, it's Ellie. I'm so gonna do my normal voice. In the distant past. Hey, it's God. And suddenly the system went out of control. The Sufal mass, monstrous organism still in the process of amalgamation, broke through the barrier of the life support facilities and stood before us. No longer of human form, that which was once human began eating the people gathered there, seeking relief. We had to fight it in order to save the people and in order to save him. The eyes of that which was once human looked at me, pleading for death. Take away the agony. What do we have on our team? That's a very good team. I don't have any. The only problem is that technically Billy's a better healer, but I feel like every time I swap and heal Billy, there's literally only been one fight where we didn't have Billy, and I went, we should have had Billy, and every other time I've had Billy, I went, I wish I didn't have Billy. May have read something with some plot here, but like actually better. Interesting. What do you mean by something? Like a hentai that had a really good plot? Is that why you put it in quotation marks? We need to give Saitan his gear back though, because now he's a good guy. Dark armor. Feathered cap. I think they're all pretty much as good as they're gonna get. Aside from having to get Saitan back up to snuff. Okay, I'm good, yeah. These are like the three. I kind of have to pee, so I'm good. I guess this is a good time to go pee. I'll just go do that now instead of like waiting for the next chance. So BRB. Hello. I'm back. Thank you. I'm sure we'll have a dungeon, at least one dungeon to do during this too. I'm gonna assume I should kill these guys off now before they become a problem. Because clearly the souffle mass is not a huge issue on its own. Yeah, that's much more of an issue. I was gonna say something, I got back, I forgot what it was. Booty booty boop. All right, one to go. We pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars. You guys remember all the Mordecai Twilight Sparkle fan art? As I do. I know. I don't see it as much anymore though. Just every now and then. Pretty sure I retweeted one a couple days ago. Ow. Might be. Yeah, yeah. We do decent damage. I feel like we're fine. Even if we can like do 5/5/5 healing every now and then. Ow. Seton does like 500 damage. 600, yeah, see? It's fine. Just means it's going to be longer than necessary. Ow. Get up, Saitan. You do the most damage. And you also take like 20 turns. Ow. We're getting to the point where we're gonna have a combo on Saitan. I mean, technically, we do now. Hey, Cube. Welcome, welcome. Alright, Saitan, fuck him up. Wait till the bar fills up. And if he's not dead, then have Saitan combo. Ow. Yeah. Oh, you're getting fast now. We'll up Saitan first. Yeah. Ow. Alright, time to combo, I guess. Boop, boop. Should do about 2,500. 2,400 probably, closer. Yeah. Boop, boop. That'll negate the healing I just got. And then some. But it's getting faster. Faye's faster than LA, so it's probably Res Faye. Ah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hiya. Goodbye. Oh, that did kill it. I just said goodbye. Be cocky. Nice. Satan, please lend me your sword. Cutscene. We don't get a lot of these in this game. Why would you feed it?
I'm sorry. I guess I couldn't help you after all. All I can do for you now is ease your wounds. I'm so sorry.
Ellie, you...
Please listen to me. Stop fighting among yourselves. We're all humans. This facility was built by the Solaris Ministry. It was created to implement their no-waste plan. Such facilities were to convert mutated humans into weapons that serve as tools for their ambitions. It's one part of their overall plan of racial purification. Of course, once you enter their umbrella of protection, you can avoid absolute death. But is that human life? Even if you are the only one left, if you're devoid of a heart, what does it all mean? All of you want to be loved, needed by someone. So we look to others. By ourselves, we are lonely. So we try to draw close together to live. That's what it means to be human. That's how people live. A single hand cannot clap. To relieve your pain, I'll give however much of my flesh you need. Therefore, don't throw away your dignity as humans. Don't let go of your human heart. Ellie, are you okay? What are you doing? I think I'm doing something foolish? No. I only did what I could. Maybe I'm a hypocrite, well-to-do have. Maybe it's only pity for the have-nots. But if I can know the joy of giving out a little of the life within me, then maybe someday it may be possible that one human can truly give love to another. People can do it. I truly believe they can. That's why... Ellie... After that, we went from place to place, destroying all the soylent system facilities located on the surface of the Earth to free the people held at each of the locations. All the people that had been mutated were taken in by Nissan, where they received treatment. Those who had mutated only mildly were treated with Tara's nanomachines, which reconstructed and revived them. They were able to return back to their normal bodies. Unfortunately, there were some that had such accelerated symptoms that their treatment was not as promising. Trying to bring them back to a form that resembled a human was the best that could be done. However, mysteriously, they no longer fought each other for survival as they did when they were held by the soylent system. Of course, the recovery from the physical pain of the mutation may have played a factor, but it wasn't only that. The majority of the people received by Nissan were those that had been admonished by Ellie and regained their humanity. Between her work in destroying the soylent system facilities, Ellie also went around and nursed the people in Nissan. She aided the bodies of the mutated and lent an ear to those who had no other place to go for help. She was the very image of the woman who created Nissan, with the Sophia. It became rumored that Ellie was a reincarnation or a second advent of Sophia. Go to Nissan and you'll receive salvation. The news seemed to spread further about, and people came from all over to be saved, both physically and spiritually. Free from the supervision of Solaris, surface dwellers began to unite in one place.
The germinating of those destined to be the body of the servant of God. As before, the humans are gathering in Nissan at this rate. Not to fear, this might actually be helpful for us. The time is near. Should we not prepare for those who are to become the fleshly body of God and those who will awaken a god? The time has come to activate the Gatia key. It's finally June. Activate the gay key. What? Kane?
Oh, hey. What more do you intend to do? I cannot allow you to use the key.
Kane, what are you doing? Without the resurrection of God, our purpose cannot be fulfilled. Or are you planning on perishing with God, Kane? Without fulfilling our purpose?
Your purpose? You are fated to it from your birth. Why haven't you realized that it does not arise from your own free will?
I've heard enough. Yes, this is of our own volition. You still insist on opposing us.
Have you forgotten? You are my subordinates. I can destroy you if I so desire.
No.
We have already done our part. It's time to pass the helm on to the next generation. The people will not perish.
Although the initial impact of being released from the limiter seal caused some momentary chaos, everything slowly began to settle down. We then began to search for the anima relics, catalysts to transform gears into omni-gears. In the past, 10 relics have been recovered. It's said that about half of those are in the hands of the Ministry. According to Zephyr, there should be several more relics hidden in the land. We knew that Solaris would most certainly be searching for them. There was no way we could allow Solaris to have them. We visited the place where, using archaic records, Zephyr and her people had been able to get clues on the whereabouts of the relics. Following the information we obtained from there, we headed towards the ruins of what seemed to be an ancient civilization.
There's episodes of shows where it starts like 3/4 through and then it's all flashbacks, retellings. Kinda, yeah. Neat. Save the game. Do you sell stuff? I don't remember. Shopkeep Johnny. Gear. Hmm. The one single shop Google in Organization 13. I mean, you're not wrong. Wait, hold on. Fuel. Yeah. Oh, wait. Cool. buy this just in case we use Bart later. Buy 5. You know what? I can buy enough for everybody. How many party members do we have? 3, 6, 8. Um. Hmm. Ooh. Maybe. Hmm. Nah. Cool. Oh, we got to use some of our money. Accessories. Yonder whip. There we go. How about 5 in case we have to switch someone else into the party? Alright, cool. See ya. Alright, let's put all this equipment on. Before I forget. Lowers either defense. You know what? I'll leave it alone then. Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. Here. Equip. Oop. Combine either +1 armor for Ellie. Here. Buy parts. There we go. Here. Oop. Cool. Now let's save again so we have all this in case something bad happens. Cool. All right. Moving on. I guess we have to be small. Zeta Soul DX. Sonic Adventure DX. Alright. No, that was fast. Fuck are these? I'm gonna kill it. Uh-oh. I'm being out to open a gear-sized chest. Yeah, no, I thought I was... maybe I could have made it with my gear, but it didn't seem like it. Very silly. I do say so myself. And I do. Defensor. Rude. Well, at least it doesn't auto-kill you. But it's still annoying. Means we're gonna have to heal anytime we fight one of those groups. I'm not sure if it's worth it. So go this way. Ooh, what are you? You're a strange little creature. Okay. The blue users will be something. Oh. Well, I guess we're just doing this now. So let's spit Saitan back out. Or it can just do it on its own anyway. Oh, okay, that does damage. Okay. That's fine, I guess. Did less damage. Death Eater. What is this? Harry Potter? Ooh. Ow. 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 There's a lot of health. 4, 5, 6, 7. Jeez Louise. Just don't want to die. Here we go. All right. Damn. Gotta find a door lock thingy. Oh, we're on the other side now. Need wizardry ring. What does that do? Oh, that thing. Doesn't really seem to do all that much. Door needs to be unlocked. Guess I'll look somewhere around here for it. Power's cut off, huh? What's that there? Here's some kind of fuse light device is blown. Okay. It's two of you fuckers. Kill yourself. Still don't have any X death blows. They only blocked Cyton's ability to use either effects, which is fine, honestly. Kablam. Nice. Okay, so they don't have a ton of health. Eyeball. Hello again. Nice. Hopefully now that Cyton isn't eaten, this will be a lot faster. Considering it does like over 800 damage to it. We're lucky it won't even be able to attack us. Kinda is. Triangle, 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 triangle. I like it more in Kingdom Hearts 2 though. There it goes. 0 damage. Oh yeah. Okay, that was a lot faster. Door lock, area B. Gold bullion. I think that's just something you sell. The gold nugget. Hello, buggers. I don't think Saitan can kill it in one go, but it is low enough that it could send someone else in to kill it. I'll see if Ellie and Saitan combined are enough to kill one. So that would be very nice. Net. How dare you? Nice. Alright, we just need Saitan to hit the last one and we're done. If it's just 2 of them, it's really not that bad. It's when you get more of them that they start becoming annoying. I want to make sure there weren't any doors I was missing. Oh, we just went in a circle. Okay, well I was gonna go back to this. I kind of wanted to go back to this guy and get those attack up. We have like a Mario jump now. Whee! Guess I may as well heal while I'm here then. I want to get these attack up rings. Oh, that'll be more useful than what I have on. I've also in the past I've had moments where like upping someone's attack by 1 point seemed to make a pretty big difference, so who knows. While I'm at it too, do I have any of the drives? I do not. Oh, good to check. Oh, there's a thing back here. Ether guard. Alright, let's heal with a survival sense. And then save. And then I'll look around and see if there's an item on the opposite side. There's a 50-50 chance that there is. Nope. Well, there is one, but I don't know how I'd get to it. I guess I should say. I might have an idea. Wait, where was it? Yeah. This is our castle that never was. It kind of is. You're right. Oh, I thought I could run along that. Oh well. What's back here? Is there anything back here? There's another chest. King's Helm. Good. Oh wait. Probably have to... it's okay. It ups defense but lowers either defense. It's good on Saitan. Put in their all when they jump when small. They sure do. Try really hard. Alright, we're going back in. I clearly missed something. Combat. I didn't put on the attack rings. Oh well, we can beat this guy fairly easily even without him. Bap. Bip. Bop. Boop. Bop. Just die already. There we go. Okay. Items. Wait, no, equip. Alright. Let's go check over here first, I guess. I don't know. Wait, shit. Oh, wait. We are here. Okay. Or where I wanted to go, I forgot the layout a little bit. Ow. Fuck. No. Oh, okay. No. Uh-oh. I fucked up. Hit the wrong buttons. One down. And there's two. Nice. Matsu. Oh, wait. I didn't think it was opening. Oh, there's not anything in here. Oh, we found a fuse. Well, I just kind of went up and interacted with that just in case. Didn't actually expect it to work. But I'm glad I did, I guess. Well, get up. There we go. Burlock system is now operational. Burlock A deactivated. Nice. Alright, who wants some now? It's you. See how much of a difference the attack rings make. A little bit. Not as much as I was hoping, but still adds up. Oops. Nice. Boop. Bop. Blip. Blop. Blop. Bloop. Kind of curious if this, now that with the power ring, if it'll add up enough that we can kill it before it even attacks. That'd be kind of cool. The only downside of the attack ring is that Ellie lost 2 defense points, but I'm hoping it won't make that much of a difference. Oh, we did kill it before it attacked. Nice. For Saitan, he lost 2 evasion, but I don't even remember the last time any of my characters like dodged an attack, so it's not worth having. And they didn't lose anything from it, so it was worth. I think it was worth it in the long run. Even if it only makes a small difference. In longer fights especially, it's going to add up. Click. Zeta Soul DX. Is there another broken fuse in here? For main system use. These activate the main system, I see. 2 more vulnerable to a 2 slow maneuver. I think it'll be fine. You're too slow. Unless we have to fight Sonic the Hedgehog or something, I think we'll be alright. Oh, neat. I feel like not enough RPGs make like that have evasion really make it it's either like a thing where it's like this character is so good at evasion and so bad at defense that you should never try to up their defense, or it's a thing where like one is just objectively better than the other. But it'd be kind of neat to have more stuff where it's like, I don't know, this enemy has a low chance to hit you, but does a lot of damage, versus the opposite, I guess. But I don't, I mean, maybe they do that to some extent, but it's not something I've ever been able to notice. So I don't know. I think part of it also comes from the fact that a lot of RPG enemies, you don't really know how their attacks work unless you like look up a wiki or you've played the game a considerable amount. Honestly, I think it would add more strategic interest if you could like just look at an enemy and like hit a button and it would be like, this is what they're weak to, this is their stats. I guess it would make it easier, but easier in the sense that I have information. And I don't know. I feel like difficulty that arrives from you don't know anything and that's the hard part can sometimes kind of feel like cheap, I guess. Yeah. Stuff like that. Things that do special things that the game doesn't tell you they do. And it kind of feels like the devs are kind of cheating in a sense by like keeping information from you. I feel like a comparable thing, there's 3 so I'm running away, would be like if you were playing D&D and your DM was secretly writing down like an extra 3 damage every time you got hit by a certain enemy because it had like a thing about it that made it do extra damage to you. So you had like 15 HP left and then he said, actually you have 0 HP, I've been writing down secret extra damage. And you're like, why am I taking more damage? And they're like, you don't know. But you're dead now. You can only find 2 of them in an enemy rush type sewer that also has ice enemies, but they never appear with those enemies. Yeah. I don't want to deal with 3 of them. I'm just gonna try to run away. Uh-oh. Please run away. Uh-oh. Well, now we have to run away. So otherwise we're fucked. Fuck Saitan. Well, now we just can't do anything. There we go. I genuinely thought we were just permanently stopped, and we were just I was gonna have to like reset the game. Where did I come from? I think I came from this way. Or activate the main system. Okay, no, it's not this. Hit the wrong button. Nice. This guy's kind of like a freebie, so might as well. I feel like being able to waste a turn to check an enemy and know all its stats is a good way to do it, which I know at least some of the Final Fantasies let you do. Although I feel like what you learn from it kind of varies depending on the Final Fantasy. That way you get rewarded for already knowing, so you don't have to waste that character's turn to check it. But you don't get like you can still see it if you don't know. Without having to pull a wiki up. Yeah, scan is good. Yeah, there should be like a cost for it, and because then it rewards you for already knowing. But you should have the ability to be able to check stuff. That's actually kind of probably one of my biggest pet peeves, because that really just wasn't a thing in most old RPGs, except for like the handful that would let you have like a scan ability that would use a turn. Or does the Champion's Tunic let you see enemies' HP or something? Oh wait, don't you already see enemy HP? Or maybe I'm crazy. I thought you did. Well, I will say, I think Zelda's like one of the, at least when it comes to like, in terms of like older Zeldas, they had the best armor value and let you see the enemy's numeric HP value. Oh, I see. Pre Breath of the Wild Zelda, I don't think there was any reason to see an enemy's HP, because most enemies that weren't mini bosses and bosses only took a couple hits. So when it comes to Zelda specifically, or at least the older ones, it was kind of pointless. There was an item in Wind Waker that let you do it, but it wasn't worth it. I think it used magic or something when you wore it. I don't remember. But it was kind of pointless. That was a game where anything that wasn't a mini boss or boss was like 3 or 4 hits. Especially by the time you were able to purchase it. You had to do like a whole side quest with the joy pendants, I think, is what it was. The Kabat, was that what it was? I know you got something for doing the teacher's thing with the joy pendants. Oh, that's what it was. Looked up what I'm supposed to do, and what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to interact with things that don't actually have a reaction to you interacting with them until eventually they start having a reaction to you interacting with them. Which is annoying. Go on. Better than an MGS2 speedrunner, uh-huh. Oh yeah. Oh, wrong one. You have to get her to destroy certain objects around. Oh, interesting. I never would have thought of that. I always assumed it was timed. Yeah. Interesting. Good to know. Wait, is it this one? Or is it a dead end? That's good to know, I guess. I have to look up exactly what it was to and see like the specific object in the room for it to be useful, but that wouldn't be that hard to do, I'm sure. Oh, dope. I know the game well enough that I could just like, if it's just like a, even if it was just like a picture with arrows, I'd be like, okay, I know exactly what you're pointing at, and I would be able to remember that if I played the game again. I'm debating if I want to put MGS3 on the list of games to potentially speedrun, or I feel like even a pretty basic, run, if you skip the cutscenes, like I already can beat that game in like 4 hours or less skipping cutscenes, so. And a lot of the speedrun is just like move through the room in this way. And I don't know, I've only ever seen like European extreme runs, because when people do runs at GDQs, they usually do like the crazier runs. But I'm sure there is a guide for like if you're playing on very easy, which would be the best thing to learn to speedrun it on, because you won't really get punished very hard if you fuck up. And honestly, thinking about it, in a lot of cases, there are probably a lot of rooms where the solution is put the very easy gun on and then just run through the room in this way. And there's a neat the only trick I know, it's like a glitch, is that if you're holding something, like you're gonna throw it, and you're running around on certain types of flooring, Snake's footsteps are silent for some reason. It's just like a weird little, wacky little glitch. I think they were talking about this. I could be wrong. Let me check. Spin in a circle holding down the bomb coolant, and the enemies get stun locked around you. That's funny. I always like when it's like the most weird, random little things that like that's kind of like the equivalent of like beating Ganon with the bottle, I feel like, or the bug net. Maybe Maybe I misinterpreted what they meant. I'm just gonna follow the little guide as it is. Go north through the door. Follow the path. Keep going west through the junction. Hmm. Interesting. They have an attack that does more damage to you if you have more EP. Which is going to do a lot to me because I don't use a lot of my ether moves. But oh well. How else will we eat? Described as the D line. Line D's blocks are all closed off. Each of these blocks corresponds to the activation code numbers. Three, two. Oh, I know what it is. We try. One, two. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I figured it out. Nice. Now we can go through those doors. Let's heal again. Items, survival tent, file, save. Cool. There we go. Enter a relic lockoff code. Input numbers so the vertical and horizontal sums are equal without reusing the same numbers. Okay. Lockoff codes must be input into terminals A and D. Will be engaged. Die. I don't know if I'm just not, I just can't remember, but I feel like this game doesn't have critical hits. I know it has, they can dodge or block an attack, but I don't feel like I've noticed any critical hits. Bop. Boop. Boop. Beep. Bop. Still not dead. How about this? There we go. All right. Down we go. A big boss snake need a poison mushroom in the mode. Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's very funny. What's a I guess. Oh. Never mind. Okay, I have another guess. Hmm. 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 Uh, I see. Doo-ba-doo-boo. Okay. Wait, let me look at it. Okay, wait, I think it's like Sudoku. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes. Got it. Okay, cool. Even further down. Release the relic. I just thought of something. I don't think I have the stuff for it. Yeah. I have Ellie. I should have probably gotten her stuff to like make her A-Rod super strong. But it's too late now. Alright, I guess we're going. It's kind of like the first stage in the first dark mode stage of Sonic Adventure 2 when you're playing as Eggman. Neat. This is the Anima Relic. Who is it? Who's calling me? I don't know. I don't know. What should I do? You were waiting for me? Billy? That monolith's got an eye on it. It sure is. And I guess we have a new Billy gear now. You see that? It looked like my gear. Maybe something has happened to your gear. Let's head for the exit and see if any change has taken place. And nothing bad will go wrong, except something bad's going wrong right now.
You girls again?
Elements.
So you've gained a new gear that's been aligned with an anima relic.
You know that we should have been the ones to have it. We need stronger powers in order for Commander Ramses to realize his long-cherished desires.
Yes, for the building of our ideal country, we can't allow you to take it.
So come on, let us have it.
You knew what Solaris was doing to the surface dwellers, and you know what the situation is like now on Earth, and yet you...
What the Gazelle do or whatever happens to the lambs are not my concerns. Each of us have our own obligations to fulfill. We don't have time to deal with affairs concerning your weak and inferior people.
Minia, do you truly believe that?
Yes. Look at yourselves, for instance. You, the strong and the superior, were the first to preserve yourselves without any mutations. Is that not right?
Power and ability have nothing to do with it. It's pure coincidence that we didn't mutate.
People are people, nothing more or less. I admit that there are the weak and the powerless, but that's no reason for us to forsake them. We're all the same human beings. So, we should give a hand to those who would be saved.
So nice and kind.
Commendable, but is that really what's best for mankind? You were all once surface dwellers. Weren't you all forced to live under the oppression of Solaris? I know that you know how it feels to be a have-not, so why do you... People must be able to stand on their own in any circumstances they are in. Overprotection only stunts the will to be independent. This stunts the growth of the people and the world. We've experienced that firsthand. Live by one's own strength, stand by one's own feet. It's sad but true that the weak will be weeded out. But we cannot look back. That is the providence of human existence. That is just the providence of those who are the haves.
So be it then. Show me this providence of yours that wishes to save the meager have-nots. Here I come.
Alright. Boss fight time. I don't remember who has what element, because I feel like that will probably be important. Your wind, your fire is all I remember. I bet I could hit the fire girl with ice magic and it would probably hurt her. I'm gonna try it. I don't know. Yeah, just in case. Alright, cool. Let's go. Minia, get bucked. Whoa! Can't just heal 5k. Okay, you know what? Then fine. Oh, and she stole my EP. Not that Faye needs it, but still. Water attack. Oh. See if it does damage to the Fire Lady. Or a bunch of damage to the Fire Lady. No. Not really. Cool. Ow. Holy fuck. Maybe if I target her specifically. You auto heal? You don't. But that chick does heal you. That's kind of the same. Nah. I mean, it's damage. But with how much they keep getting healed. How? You missed. If I just go all in on this girl, what happens? Okay. We can hurt her. But Kalvina keeps using her turns to heal her, which is annoying. Ow. To digitally, forensically figure out who I followed that would RT MGS2 speedrunning. Maybe, I don't know. For yourself. Nice. See how much this does. I think it does more than she gets healed, but I'm not totally sure. I don't think it did. Does anyone heal you? Missed. Ow. Nice. Fuck her up. Okay, I think she's out. Next we'll go for Fire Girl. Thought I had. I'm not sure what the new combo is yet. Alright, I'm just gonna death blow. And we'll build up her combo slowly. She's not getting healed. That hurt. Dare you? Alright, 2 down. I'm gonna have him build up his combo as fast as possible. Because I'm pretty sure he's the only one that does enough damage to one hit KO Dominia. Ow. Oh, I might have Ellie combo the bottom chick. Nice. Bam. Alright, 12. Alright, I'm gonna have Ellie combo in the next turn, her next turn, I think. Should be able to do at least like 1500 with a combo. Ow. Now I have to res Ellie. I'll have Faye do it. Wow. All right. Bam. Saitan's turn again. Yeah. Kablam. Ow. Oh, she's out. Okay. Alright, build up your meter all the way. Just have everyone doing that. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh, that did not do that much damage. Considering how crazy it looked. Nice. Cool. We might pass 3K. Maybe. Not quite. Didn't kill her, but she didn't heal for some reason. I'll take advantage of this, I guess. Ooh, LA combo. Oh wait, this is Sekon. I just assumed it would be Ellie's turn. Sekon attack normally, I guess. I don't know. Oh, we won. Cool. Yay! We may have fared poorly when we fought in the flesh, but we'll finish you off in our gears. Come, follow me. Okay, I guess.
What took you? What meaning is there in fighting again? Silence. Now we have no choice but to fight. Now we will show you the true power of the elements. Get ready, because here we come.
Are they gonna fuse? Oh my god, they're gonna fuse.
Elements in unison. Elements formation.
It's the Megazord. Pterodactyl. Lion. Shark. Whale thing. I don't actually know. Person. Maybe, yeah, it might be a dolphin. Bing. Can Faye do the thing? Can he do the transformy thing in this fight? Kishin sword. Oh boy. That did not do much damage. See if A-rods do anything. One. Oh, okay. That was pretty good. Four-way flaming hell. Alright, system edge. Let's go. Nice. Water. Ouchies. Cool, cool, cool. How much does this do? More than Ellie's A-rods. So Faye's the main one doing damage right now. Santana's doing the least damage by comparison. Alright. I switched to Earth mode. Protagonist privilege. Hell yeah. I'm not gonna complain. Okay, Satan's doing a little bit of damage with his death blow. Ow. Blam, kablam. They blocked it, fuck. Ow! Guess we're just gonna do this to Ellie until the fight's until she runs out of fuel. Because I have a funny feeling that her regular attacks are gonna do squat even compared to what Saitan's doing. Not the whirlwind. Now Ellie's gonna get swapped out for Chupon. Chupon just eats the sword. Fuck. They went big defense mode. That's fair. Look for like a fire blast or something. Nice. Isn't there like a list? Because like I don't think Metronome can use literally any attack, but there's like a list, right, of attacks it can potentially use. Or maybe I'm wrong. Okay. When I said that, I was thinking like I could kind of see in the first gen there's not as many moves. Maybe you can just use any move. Fuck. Oh, it ended. I didn't realize that. It was like limited. That's why he's doing no damage. Okay. I see. That makes sense. Boom. Yeah, id mode for 3 turns. Fair enough. He does do a shit ton of damage in id mode, so I guess it balances it out. Dominia. Whatever you say, babe. Blam. Upside time booster because he's the only one not doing special crazy things that use up a lot of his stuff. Ow. That kind of hurt. Nice. Oh, did we win? Okay, that was actually wasn't as hard as I thought this was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a bit closer. Ooh. Do I get the sword? Probably not. That'd be cool though. Level up, level up, level up. Oh, I do get the sword. Fuck yeah. I'm cool. Okay, that was worth it. Guess I found a big sword. For his gear. You can only use it as a team in small mode. It's like the Morpho giant sword thing.
Some things only the weak can feel, but weakness does not make them servile. It's because they are weak that they can develop kindness and never look down on people. It is where real human interaction comes from. Everyone has weaknesses, even you did it first. Oh yeah. Your weakness drew you to each other and made you grow strong. Never forget those feelings when you all lived together side by side. Wait. Are you trying to show us mercy, or are you just trying to show off? Got us all wrong, Dominia. Our paths may be different, but our goals are the same.
That's why I can't fight you anymore. There's no reason for me to. That's all. Got fucked up. That's it. Goodbye. The end. Wow, it looks like they sure showed us a thing or two. We sure did.
Having fled from the elements, we tried to take the relic to be used as a power to fulfill Ramses' desires. We once again initiated our search for information on the whereabouts of the last known relic.
Okay, only one more relic, stupid relic dungeon. Yeah, it's so true. They're fine. They're just fine. Nothing bad happened to them. And then we can have 10 hours of lore and before we fight the final boss.
He is no longer one of us. Yes, he dares to go against our objectives, just like the other one. We can still activate the key. We must do something about the one who stands in our way. We must eliminate Cain. But we cannot stand up to his power. Only Cain can destroy Cain. So, Mother, will you do it for us?
Maybe. Did Krellian say anything?
Something concerning the potential ability of it as a countervailing existence, with everything focusing towards a single point.
I see. But Kara is still shaken up by yesterday's defeat against Faye. We are almost ready. I need just a little bit more time.
Then we'll wait. We'll wait till the time is ripe.
Krellian? A countervailing existence. That Myong. What's she up to? Better warn the commander.
The way. Let me through. That bastard, I'll hunt him down myself.
Please, calm down, Commander. We'll take care of him and his friends.
What could you fools do? Imbeciles, only I can beat him. Only I, who transcends all other humans, can possibly take him down. Move.
Commander, wait! What a psycho. While Faye and the others searched for the resting place of the last known anima relic, I temporarily returned to Nissan. I don't know why I went back, just I had this stirring within my heart that some danger was awaiting the people there. All the people accepted into Nissan were on the road to recovery. There were still those who were not able to completely recover. Tara's nanomachines continue to evolve from day to day. Thanks to the nanomachines, the treatments were becoming more and more successful, and the day when everyone would regain their original bodily form was approaching. A trembling. There was a sudden explosion in the city of Nissan. Within the burning fire stood a gold Omnigear. It was Ramses. He assaulted Nissan so that he could defeat Faye. His purpose of existing was at stake. The Nissan and Shavat militia, even Rank and friends from Solaris who now served to protect Nissan, could not thwart the assault. The people were evacuated into the cathedral. Continuing to search for Faye, Ramses put the militia to rout and pressed on toward the cathedral. He was ruined. He had his mind set solely on getting at Faye. I stood before him.
Where is he? I know it. He's here. Why does he not come out?
Ramses, the Fae you seek is not here, so please stop this meaningless violence.
You do. Come out. Faye, if you will not come out, I will crush Elohim.
Ellie!
Boss.
Keep back.
Not coming out, eh? Have it your way. Then from tonight on, you will be crying with this woman's dead body in your arms. What happened? Why can't I move?
Ellie.
You okay?
How could I? To the likes of you, and not only to him, but I am also inferior to you? Me?
What happened?
Yeah, Ramses don't got nothing.
What happened to you, Ramses? Why are you caught up with Faye so much? Why are you so bothered by who is more superior?
It was originally created to be the integration of all human abilities, to be able to align with all of the anima relics. I was created to have the power equivalent to those of Emperor Cain. You could say I was to be the ideal form which all people strive to become. However, once he was born, I was rejected. I was given life in a pile of trash, born in the dark, cold abyss of worthlessness. I was able to crawl out of there. I was able to survive on my own strength. In order to get back at all those who have forsaken me, despite all of that, I was able to get this far. I was able to provide myself with the warmth that I required to continue living. But he had to come and intervene in my life one more time. He tried to take that very warmth away from me again. As long as he exists, I don't belong anywhere.
I think I know why you are so fixated with Faye. You do not really know what you should be doing with your life right now. You're simply trying to protect yourself by attacking Faye. By attacking others, you are confirming your own existence. That's why you strive to be above everyone else, because otherwise, you'd be enveloped by a void, because you yourself will disappear, because that emptiness within your heart will only grow, because you want to hang on to love.
Silence.
Born in the darkness, molded by it.
Even you were trying to take it from me. That warmth, that very warmth I finally obtained.
Ramses, no one is attacking you. No one is trying to take away what is so precious to you. No one is threatening your existence. It's all in your mind, so don't hide the feelings that are in your heart. Don't fear love.
You. Now you. Ugh.
Ramses was in fear. He feared losing the place he belonged to. He feared that Faye was the one who would take it away from him. He believed love was something you take. He craved love more than anyone else.
He just wanted to be loved, you guys.
Worthless. Trash. Reject. Why even bother existing? Defect. Be gone. We have no use for you. Ha! Trash is of more worth to us than you.
Car, don't worry. I'll always be by your side. No one knows you better than I do, so don't.
Young, is this all I can do? Is this the extent of all my strength and abilities? Couldn't beat him. And in front of that woman, I couldn't even do a thing. Is this the limit of my existence, my abilities?
You're the same as Cain, an archetype that surpasses all humans. I made you in the same way. But he is the one who is preventing you from fully releasing your powers. Divided powers. That man was your original form, the primordial superior being. If you could defeat him, then you would be...
Yes, even with your superior constitution, the existence of the original being hinders you. If you could eliminate the divided power, then it would be all yours. Don't you agree, Car?
Ramses, more like Roxas.
Having completed the alignment of the first anima relic with Billy, there was a remarkable change in the appearance and structure of Billy's gear. They were units that merged with the inorganic. Of course, we had no idea what purpose these ancient anima relics were created for, but the fact that they played some kind of role as weapons was blatantly obvious. Eventually, their true power will be released, and we cannot allow this power to fall into the hands of evil. In order to obtain the final relic, we headed for a ruin that is believed to be almost 10,000 years old, the remains of the first civilization on our planet, and A reunion with an old friend awaited us.
What if I grab? Series is Breath of the Wild, but with mechas. Yeah. They do be like that, don't it? I'll just stick with this team. They did me fine last time. Alright, well that is where I will stop for the night. We will do this last anima dungeon, and I'm sure there's still lots of wacky story bits to come. Alright. Now let's go see who's streaming tonight. I'm going to be reading Nintendo Power tomorrow. And it sure was a wacky stream. A lot of weird, funny, wacky stories have happened. What am I doing? Oh, tomorrow reading Nintendo Power. Friday more Xenogears. It sure is. Saturday we're gonna start Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. Sunday Xenogears, and if we don't finish Xenogears Sunday, then we will, I'm assuming, finish it next week. I don't think it should take us more than like a couple of streams next week to beat it at worst. We'll see though. We will see. I'm not gonna get stuck on the final boss because I've already cheated a couple times in this game. I'm not afraid to just do it on the last one. If worse comes worst. Well, it depends. It depends if it's close or how close it feels. I guess there's no way to tell. If it's like a total fucking bash out and we're just like absolutely getting wrecked, then yes, I will just do it and we'll just move on. I will sacrifice my Aito palette. So it shouldn't be one of those RPGs, or it won't be one of those RPGs where like we have to dedicate an entire stream to the final boss. If it's that bad, we'll just eat. I don't think it will be though. Like, I feel like we're doing alright. So long as we like keep our gear up to date, this game usually is fine. It was mainly the gear fights where I didn't have the best equipment that were a problem. Anyway, we'll see though. We will see. It did do that. It usually most fights in this game are pretty doable. There have only been a handful where I felt like you had to have a really specific team set up and do really specific things, or else you were fucked. So I think it'll be fine. We'll see. We will see. Anyway, when we get there. All right. Well, that's it for me. Have a good day, good night, whatever's for you, and I'll see you next stream. We're gonna go read Dawn also. Bye. Mwah.